Hey, I am back. Okay, I could not get screen sharing to work on my computer using at least the Facebook Live producer. So I'm going to figure out a different way so I can share out like the actual topics. So what I'm going to try to do is actually drop what I would have shown as a part of the presentation where I could have just shared my screen. I'm going to go ahead and just drop that into the comments so you can see what I'm talking about here. So hopefully that will, be an easier way and it works and you don't have to worry about getting a video later. So the thing that I wanted to cover on today's live is defining what branding really is and understanding the difference. Say what's up if you're here. I'm trying to like get a feel back of if I'm back live and if everything is working okay. So I've been saying, hey, Michael, how's it going? Michael is in the real estate business, and I love his energy. Good to see you, Michael. Okay, so let's talk about this. So, why would anybody want to invest in branding? So, I get this question from a lot of people who are either more successful, like, are hitting 100K months, have maybe gotten there organically, don't have like a beautiful logo to show for it. And it absolutely is totally valid. And people can do that. It's not unheard of. Here's the difference. The percentage of people who get there without having that strong brand that's backing them up to create the authority. Hey, Jan, how's it going? Sorry, I had some technical issues. And so the piece I want to talk to you about today is I am a savvy business owner. You cannot spend all of your money on high ticket coaching or high ticket services, but I want to like make a case for why branding isn't just superficial. And I want to be able to do that by actually showing you guys some of the work that we've done for clients and the huge before and after difference it's made. So if you've been in a position before where you've looked at your branding and you've said, it's okay, but I don't need to do this right now. This is aimed and targeted for you to help give you a different perspective of what is the power of branding. What happens when you get branded correctly? And let's just define what that means overall. So branding is not a logo. A logo is a part of a brand, but it's not just that alone. It's as if you thought that, only Facebook ads was marketing. Let's not. I'm sure if you're running Facebook ads, you're probably doing email marketing. You might be on YouTube. You might be doing organic. You might be following up with people in DM. You might have nurture sequences set up in Active Campaign or with Zaps. So it's like pretending that marketing is one thing and one thing only. And even then, there's a difference between marketing and then actual advertisement. So there's nuances there. So same thing is true with branding. So let's get into it. I want to share out some stuff. Like I said before, if you saw me on my last live, I wasn't able to screen share with ease. I was getting some kind of issues. But you know what? It's all about imperfect action and it doesn't matter. So I'm going to drop one. Let me see if I can drop this in the comment. Oh, I can't. Okay. Okay. Let's see if I can try screen share one more time, guys. Just bear with me. If not, I'm going to just talk through the concept. And then what I will do is actually make a video on Loom and I'll post it afterward right into this thread so you can see what I'm talking about. Video clipping. Create a clip. No. Yeah, it just won't give me that option. Okay, I don't know what's happening. Okay, so the concept of branding, being able to help enhance your business. What does this actually mean? So even people who have been watching my stuff for a while or watching what we do for our clients are still unclear on why does this apply to me and is there any tangible results to that? So I'm going to answer that question. When you are to the stage where you have outgrown your brand and you start to feel unease that either the name or the way that your brand looks, whether it be the logo or the fonts or the coloring, or the way you feel like your brand is coming across online. If it doesn't feel like it's coherent and well stitched together and you kind of feel like it's all over the map, There's different things getting posted on Instagram. Your website was like from 2 years ago, and that website designer took it upon them to come up with these random colors and then throw your logo into it. Or you've morphed your logo so many times with some low ticket graphic designer who was trying to give you a brand and you never really felt settled with it. So what ends up happening with that is that you will see online a business looks like it takes on so many different shapes. So what you lose over a period of time is that brand recall. And so I posted about this earlier, and I didn't get that much traction on the post and whatever. Here's one mindset tip. Do not care 2 licks if people like your post or not, or comment on your post or not. That is not a valid indicator of the content you're putting out and if it's good or not. There's so much changing with the algorithm right now. Like, let me know if you guys are feeling that. Are you guys noticing the shift with the algorithm? It's not showing as much of your content. You're not getting quite as many likes and comments as you used to. You may not even be getting as many live views as you used to. So whatever happened with Facebook and that iOS 14 update has like really just taken down the amount of views that people are getting out there. So you know what? It's all good. It's all about adapt or die, finding that next thing. So I did a post about this explaining what brand recall is. And you're feeling that so much, Jan. Thank you. Yeah, it's actually really common. And people, what ends up happening is people take it upon themselves and think that their content is horrible. And then they'll go spend a ton of time like reanalyzing their avatar and their market and their pain points and what their offer are. And then they want to like dig into the pain more, or they try long copy, short copy, viral post, true or false posts. And sometimes it's just the algorithm. They're testing all the time. They make a lot of money with their ads. And so they have to constantly test how engagement works, because engagement is what ends up producing them cash or not. So it's not related. It's not as much related to you as you would like to think. So with that being said, what brand recall is one of the cornerstones of why branding is important and not just something that's superficial, is how quickly does your name of your company or your name of who you are come to mind? Like if we're talking and somebody needs help with understanding their mindset better, like do people think of Jan immediately and say, oh, I've got to introduce you to a friend of mine. Let me set you guys up in a group DM. So, or for Michael with real estate, are people like, oh yeah, Michael's doing something with this in his business. I've got to connect with him. I got to introduce this person to that person. That's what brand recall is. And of course, a more direct connection point is, oh, I need to get branding done, or I need business coaching. I need to hit up Bijal. I need to talk to the people at launch, right? So how strong is that memory connection? Because we are all super busy. Your clients, your prospects, your avatars out there are too busy, focused on their own business. And this is where marketing has taken us to, and why branding is so powerful when used correctly. It basically allows people to connect with your brand through your own values, and those values are communicated to what essentially is the messaging that's behind that brand. So just as much as a brand looking a certain way or attracting a certain client has its place and is important, it's actually more important for you as the business owner to feel fluffed up, to feel a sense of pride, to feel really, really good about, hey, my branding looks amazing. It looks stellar. Everything's pulled together. I want to get my website redone because I can't even stand looking at the old one. If you've ever renovated or redecorated a room in your house, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's you finish one room and then you look around and you're like, oh my God, I can't stand. Like if you renovate the kitchen, for example, you then probably go into your master bedroom and you're like, have we always had those drapes? Like, I hate this. I hate these drapes. I hate this comforter. Why did I have this color? The whole thing you start to see what you don't like. Same is true for that branding experience. So in the case studies I'm going to share with you after this live, you're going to see different companies. So we took Samantha Wilding. Her whole company is called Healing Healthcare Burnout. It is based on taking medical professionals, nurses, doctors, anybody who's in that system. Imagine during COVID, how much burnout was happening in that system, taking them out of there and helping them actually find a place where they can have respite. They can have a place where they can go and relax and learn tactics and strategies to be able to unwind after a grueling 12, 14-hour shift. Sometimes they were taking back-to-back shifts, like 24 hours. Every time they leave the hospital, people getting called up to come back in and take in another shift. And her branding, when I show it to you, looks completely dismal. It actually confirms the feeling of dread until we completely revamp the whole thing. So I'm going to share that out with you. So Michael's saying my brand recall is not good. And Michael, what would you say in your opinion? What is the reason for that? What would you call out as the reason for that? And it's kind of interesting. I'm going to wait and see what he says here. But a lot of times I've noticed with people who come into my world, when they don't like their business name, like I'm working with a company or worked with them, we finished up, called Bias Copywriting. They dislike their name so much that they never use it. They won't say it out loud. They don't drop it in their posts. They had some graphic icon designed of the logo, but they're not proud of the name. And so the icon definitely doesn't come along with it. So that branding appears nowhere. So what ends up happening is that they are personally trying to brand themselves and their name to be associated with what they do, which is amazing sales page copywriting. But then what happens is that you've got this rift between personal branding versus business branding. And what that ends up happening down the road is that people start to associate you and only you with your business. So when you finally want to be the CEO and work on your business and not in it, everyone doesn't even know what your business actually stood for, what you actually did there, and they don't believe and entrust the team. They don't think the team has the same level of authority that you actually brought to it. Let me know if this is making sense. Because I'm down, I am so down to jam on a conversation about this. If you guys have some specific questions as it relates to your brand and what you think is superficial or what you might want to do next, hit me up with those questions and I'm happy to address those things for you guys. I want to make sure that you're getting a lot of value from why these things are not discussed and why it could be a leg up. Okay, makes sense. Okay, cool. Yeah, so that was one example. The other example I was going to show you was a client of mine that we're about to wrap up. Her name is Angelica Ventrice, and she's an amazing online fitness coach. Her original branding was good. It was definitely good, but it did not embody her. Like the fonts, the colors, everything was just really kind of subtle and pulled back. But when you talk to this woman, she is like a fierce fire hose of information. And she gets her clients tons of results. Like she's really good at lifetime fitness coaching, which means that you learn a sustainable nutrition method where you're not going to actually gain the weight back. And that all starts with an elevated mindset. That is what her angle is. That's what makes her different. So imagine in the world of like saturated fitness coaches, which of course happened during COVID, during 2020, there was like an onslaught of fitness coaches. How was she supposed to stand out? Well, she realized she was already doing well and already attracting clients, but she wanted a higher level avatar. She wanted to be able to raise her price and not have people who have to, she coaches exclusively women. She didn't want to have women who had to check with their husband on finances prior to enrolling in a high ticket coaching program. So that was one of her main impetuses for changing her branding so that she could attract and refine what her avatar is to that one notch above, which she already was getting doctors and pharmacists and real estate agents. She just wanted more of those type of people. Women who were financially independent to be able to make those decisions. And with that, we raised her pricing, which means she raised her profit. And she's been successfully selling at that. So let's see, Michael's saying, I think people don't think of us when they think of marketing for realtors. I would like to be known as the go-to authority for our market. So I think, Michael, our brand is a ghost. Yeah. So Michael, especially with real estate, we actually have some real estate clients we're working with right now. called Evergreen Agent, and they actually help other agents like get more success and not have to rely completely on their brokerage companies. And we're working with them, and those guys are killing it in the business. But what happened is that they just had like some text. It was just a font as their name, and they're very young and they're very successful. So in order to grow their business even further and to hit, like, they've got big goals, like they want to be, they want to be 8-figure, 9-figure kind of business down the line in time. And in order to be taken more seriously, to have that authority, you have to show up to the place that way. You have to show up to the market already looking like you've got yourself pulled together. It is the same reason that you wear a suit to an interview. It is the same reason that you dress a certain way when you're being interviewed to win a huge project. So like I said the word suit because it's the easiest thing to say, but like as being a creative, I know I have to makeup done, heels on, like look, I don't have to wear a suit. I just have to look extremely fashionable if I'm going to go in person to an interview if I want to win a really big proposal. Because in their mind, call it subconscious, we are human beings. You and your brand get judged. It's not superficial. It's actually trying to figure out if they should trust you. So Michael, I'm gonna pose this question back to you, and I know I've met you, so like you and I are more trust relationship here, and same with Jan. This is the question I want you to answer. Have you given them any reason for why that market should trust you as the authority in this space? That's a question I want you to ask yourself. And only you know the answer. If you want to share with us, you can. That is the first place to start from. Have you actually given them a reason? So we can sit here and say all day, I'm the best at this. I'm the greatest at this. We have this unique process. But if nobody knows it, if nobody sees it, if nobody trusts it, because it looks kind of like a rinky-dink brand, or there's no brand, it almost looks like you can tank and go under in a year or two, and then nobody will ever hear from you again. So when you have a brand that is put together, that you have invested a high ticket amount into, so you can craft it, it ends up looking the part. It shows stability to the person who's coming into your network. And it also tells yourself and your subconscious, we got this, we're going to make it. Because every business owner I know out there goes through periods of time, even when they're rocking and rolling, where they're like, is my business going to survive? Is my business going to survive? And there's times when you are sitting in a corner and you don't know. You don't know, and that is the worst place to possibly be in. And so what this does is putting your branding as a center stone. It's like staking in the ground. It's like putting your flag in the ground and saying, I own this, and I'm going to be here, and I'm going to rustle, and I'm going to tussle, and I'm going to beat out my competitors. There is always market competition, always. Oh, I can't even tell y'all about how many people tell me, well, there's no real competition with us. And I will stop and say, have you asked your prospects that question? What? Have you asked your prospects who they believe your competition is? Now, I can tell myself all day that I don't compete with Fiverr, but if I do have, which I don't, I should caveat, I don't. But there was a time when I first started, I had this onslaught of like DIYers and Fiverr logo people who were like, well, I could either pay you or pay Fiverr. And I'm like, oh, no. We're in the wrong conversation here. But why was that happening to me? This was a year ago when I like first jumped into branding, putting myself online. One, I did not have the resident experience shown out there. Two, let's be real, I didn't have the reputation. 3, I didn't have enough clients out there to say and to show. And 4, I did not have the authority. Plain and simple. I don't ever have somebody who comes on a call now and says, well, I'm going to pick you or I'm going to go to Fiverr. I would like hang up the phone right then. I'd be like, you know what? This was a misfit. Sorry. Don't want to waste your time. Good luck with that. See you later. I wouldn't even try that conversation. That's not my avatar. But that took a period of time. So building up your brand also takes a period of time. But it's not one of those things that you wait until you're massively successful and then you say, oh, cool, I'll do it now. That happens for a very small percentage of people, right? Like Tony Robbins' story, other people relate to Tony Robbins' first part of his story. They just don't relate to the back part of his story where he ended up making the transformation, getting massive success, and now has the most ridiculous coaching and personal and life coach branding personal branding that's out there and a following, right? So not everyone ends up at the second part of the story. As an entrepreneur, you need to know what's out there so you make educated decisions. So what Michael is saying is not consistently, so no. I forgot what the original, So Michael, I mean, what happens with that and what you're admitting to, which I really appreciate, by the way, being able to come on a live, not sure who's going to watch it, and admit what your problem is in your business, that's amazing. Like, that needs to be celebrated more. So you will see that I'm often talking about what doesn't work, and I'm vulnerably sharing out like, oh crap, like this went south, or I went south, or the mentality or mindset took a hit, or here's what happened with this client. And, we need to be more transparent in order to lead other people up. And so if you're able to do that, one, I just want to kudos you and say that is a great characteristic. Keep doing that. Keep looking honestly at where you can do better. So if you're not doing it consistently, if you're not creating a reason for people to consistently want to follow you, that's your number one thing you need to change. Now, the second question beyond that is understanding why is it that you're not consistently getting out there? Is it posting? Is it creating content? What is holding you back? That's where a lot of times branding comes into play, where people are unsure. Well, what is our positioning? I know we're great, but I'm not exactly sure how to attract the right people. I don't know what our position should be. What should my messaging be? Oh, I tried all these different posts. Nobody commented, nobody liked. Literally, that's why I covered that earlier in this live. That is the number one reason why people end up failing in business. They take it so seriously when people don't like or heart or comment or engage or want your two-step. Take it so seriously, meaning the market doesn't want this, or it's reverse. They're so stubborn about not hearing any feedback that nobody has liked this for like 6 weeks, 8 weeks, that we have to try other marketing angles. We have to try to communicate the same amazing offer that, Michael, that you have in real estate in a different way, so that people do believe that you are the go-to resource for marketing for real estate agents. You are an extremely competitive field. Now, that's not bad. What that means is that there is a huge need for that. But if you're going to fight in red ocean territory, which is exactly where you're in, you best roll up those sleeves. Hey, Tobias, what's going on? Woo woo! Tobias is my accountability partner, also brand strategist, guru, my friend from Finland. Anyways, so you need to be able to come out there, like roll up your sleeves, Michael, and just say, I am going to get this. I'm going to get after this. I know there's a market for it. And you have to set up some constructs to say, I'm going to try this. Okay, I've tried it for 4 to 6 weeks. It's not yielding results. Let me adapt. Let me try something else. Let me do a different angle. So a lot of times people end up coming back to their branding sometimes because they want a sense of security, a sense of like, what is my North Star? Like, what is the pillar within me that stands strong even when I got like 15 no's? Like, people won't even get on a call with me. What do they want to do? They want to have something that's like home base that points them back up towards the North Star and what their vision is, so that they don't give up. You understand, like, Michael, where you're at in business, even Jan's like a little bit further, I think, along. But still, like in the semi-established phase of business, the only goal you have in life right now is to not give up. To not give up. And so what I would say, Michael, if you feel like you're not being heard, The very first thing you can do, and this is tangible, is start hearing out other people. I want you to put your own offer on the back burner for a second and just practice listening skills. Just practice listening skills. Well, Michael, like the low self-worth thing, that happens to everybody who's an entrepreneur. Like you could be the biggest, baddest ass entrepreneur ever and be making multiple millions. Yes, multiple millions, and you still have self-worth issues. Most people just completely deny it. What up, Chuck DeBroder, my boy? Talk about not giving up. Chuck DeBroder is like got such grit and positive attitude. So Michael, you're not alone. When you feel like you're not being heard, you're probably having a hard time listening to others. So first thing I would do, man, start practicing. Get on to someone else's DM. Ask someone else for a coffee chat. It not be about your business, and just learn what they do and practice turning on your listening skills. I promise you that energy will start to turn around, and you'll start to notice over a period of time that when you turn your ears on, other people's ears reflexively turn back onto you. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, in this live today, I'm giving you a ton of attention and I'm talking to you a lot. So let's take that as like the first sign that people are listening to you. People do want to hear your story. People do want to help you. Yes, Jan. Make friends with my friend Jan here. He's wonderful. Yeah, so let me know if you guys have any other questions. I'm probably going to wrap this up. This live up here soon. I did also want to mention I have a YouTube channel now that we've got videos on, and we're going to start working our YouTube network and get really good content out there. There's so much branding stuff that I've given away, and that channel has a ton of it. And so we've got it all organized by different topics. And so if you're in the position where I'm really keen on this, if you are first starting out your business, very first, and you're not even to the semi-established place yet, which I define as like 6K a month minimum, I don't even want you to think about branding. I don't want you to worry about it. You really need to think about branding after you're past about the 10K minimum up to 20K revenue mark. That's a great place to start focusing on branding. But can you absolutely start to apply some of the stuff I'm talking about right now? Yes, you absolutely can. You can start to envision what your brand is. You can start to say, what are my core values and how do I demonstrate and lead with that first? What is my North Star? Dude, honestly, hey, Jess Turner, what's going on? Jess has been following for a while, so she knows my feelings on this. You can just write out what your vision is. You can write out what your values are. You can say, hey, like this is the kind of company I want to be known as. This is the kind of voice I want to take on. You know what I mean? So you can build that without having to make major investments. And my personal viewpoint is I would rather you skip the Fiverr logo because I think it makes you end up looking cheaper. Like if you're new, I'd rather just have you look new. And that, hey, I'm out here, I'm beta testing stuff, I need to do this so I can get social proof, and you grow, then the opposite of creating a brand that makes you look poor in terms of your leadership or expertise or positioning. So I don't want that. I've seen so many brands end up attracting those tire kicker people, and you don't want to do that. It's almost better to have no brand. I'm like, please just don't go to Fiverr. Like it does not work. You end up with a janky brand that you think looks good, and other people, even though they're not brand experts, they're like, that looks cheap. Scroll. So all your high-level avatars are gone because they know what a good-looking brand looks like subconsciously. They feel it. That's why Apple spends so much money on their brand. That's why Nike, Tesla, like look at Rolls-Royce. You think they like skimped on their brand? Like they know what's up. They spend a ton, hundreds of thousands of dollars. There's companies that spend millions of dollars on their brand, but they are there and it makes sense for them in sequence, right? So you don't need to do that, but you do need to start to get wise that it's not going to just be a funnel. It's not just going to be messaging. Ads are not just going to take you to the shiny stars. I'm doing ads right now. Y'all, you heard it here first from Bijal Patel. Ads are hard, okay? Like ads are hard. They don't know you. They don't trust you. They don't understand what it is that you do. You get on a call with them and they're like, did I watch something of yours? And you're like, yeah. Like, it's not that easy. You don't just like throw money into ads and like in comes the crowds. You don't like become Beyonce overnight. So, anyways, I just want you to know that here. I'll let you know when it's like booming and it's going crazy. Michael saying, love that's true. I don't want to give people the time that I want them to give me in return. Yeah. Yeah. So, Michael, I think, like, again, I just really love how honest you're being here. Like, who's willing to come out there and say that? Yeah. So, that subconscious feeling of, I don't want to give you time, totally law of mirror is coming back at you. So, people don't want to give it to you and they feel it, they sense it, they know it, right? So, try this. Just, dude, try it for a week and hit me up back in DM and tell me what the difference you see. I swear that works. Jan and Michael chit-chatting. Oh, Jessica, thank you. You look amazing. Cool that you look good and talk sense. Thanks for showing up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Anyways, I've got to go and film those actual case studies. So I'm going to drop that in there. It's going to be a really, really quick Loom. And I think I'm just going to upload it to my new YouTube channel. So if you want the link to the new YouTube channel, drop YouTube below in the comments, and I'll get you hooked up with that. I'm going to put the video I made because I was actually going to share some case studies. I know, I was like all prepared. I had a slide deck ready. I was going to actually show work. And then, technology doesn't work. And that shit happens and it's okay. Like, it's all good. So now I'm going to go film the video in Loom, put it up onto YouTube, and share it onto YouTube. And so that'll be something new that's only on that platform. So would love it if you want that channel and if you subscribe to it. Would love you even more if you comment on it, trying to grow that bad boy, and you know how that goes. So hope this is valuable. If you watch this later, hashtag me with a replay. And if you do have any questions later, feel free to comment here, or you can hit me up in DM as well. So, okay, have an awesome day. I am so excited about next week. It's my daughter Sayone's 6th birthday. So we're actually taking her to SeaWorld in San Antonio, and I have another surprise that's more entrepreneurial up my sleeve, but I am going to wait to post about it. It is a freaking huge opportunity, and I can't wait to talk about it, but I'm going to wait till it's done first. All right, bye.